A cost segregation study is how you can cash flow tens of thousands of dollars per month and potentially pay no taxes on that money at the end of the year via depreciation. Now, depreciation is just a fancy word of saying that you get to write off the value of the asset over its life expectancy. So for real estate, the life expectancy is 27 and a half years if it's just like a residential property, and it's going to be 39 and a half years if it's a commercial property. But with a cost segregation study, you can pretty much say, fuck that 27 and a half years and write off a good portion of your property now rather than later. So let's say you purchase this beautiful 10-unit property, luxurious and sexy, for $1.2 million. Now let's say out of that price, the stove, which is, we're gonna pretend like it's the land, was $200,000, and the building itself was $1 million. So the IRS does not allow you to depreciate land because the life expectancy for land is forever. It was here when we were born, and it's gonna be here after we die. So your basis of depreciation changes a little bit. Of that $1.2 million, 200 cannot be depreciated or written off, but the $1 million can. In this example, if we take the $1 million divided by 27 and a half years, you're gonna get a $27,500 tax write-off each year. At the bare minimum, you should be using this tax strategy. This is called standard deduction or straight line depreciation.
I'm not trying to wait no 27 and a half years.
Exactly, and here's where the cost segregation comes into play. You see, when you purchase an investment property, you're purchasing two types of property classes. The first type of property classes is called Section 1250 property. This is called real property. Typically, these are things that are stuck to the ground. You can't necessarily move it. The second type of property is called Section 1245 property, also known as personal property. These are things that you could typically move around, such as the bed, such as the bathtub, such as the sink, and so forth. Anything else that comes with that property that can typically be moved around is not like a structural component. 1250 property or real property, you know, the stuff that's stuck to the ground generally has to be depreciated over the course of 27 and a half years. But 1245 property, that personal property, you know, the stuff I can like pick up and move around, generally can be written off in full if placed in service between 2017 and 2022. And if it was placed in service in 2023 or later, generally your deduction in year one is going to be 80%. So taking the value of your home and identifying any improvements, 1245 property and 1250 property is essentially what a cost segregation study is. And generally and conservatively speaking, it's about 30% of the total value of the home. So let's say in this example, we identify $300,000 in 1245 property and improvements, which is going to give us a $300,000 tax deduction right now. And if you're in a 40% tax rate, that is $120,000 in tax savings. This is the same strategy that real estate investors like Donald Trump uses to pay little to no tax. Now, I have to give a shout out to two people who really pushed me to learn the strategy. The first one is one of our members. Her name is Noemi from Empowered. So shout out to you. She's saving like over 100K with the strategy. The second one is my mentor, my coach, Natalie K. Bro, Natalie's so hard. I love both of you guys. Thank you for pushing me to get to this level. My name is Duke, and to make taxes very easy to understand. Give me a follow to stay educated.